A non-conducting sphere of radius b is constructed of two materials. The inner portion has a radius a and a non-uniform volume charge density given by ρ1, where alpha is a positive constant. The outer portion with inner radius a and outer radius b has a uniform charge density ρ2. And in part A, calculate Q in being the total charge in the inner region of radius a. So to do that, we use the volume integral, being the triple integral of the charge density over the volume of the inner sphere. So given that the charge density varies with the radial distance from the sphere, we can break the sphere up into thin spherical shells, where the spherical shell has a radius r. So therefore we can simplify this integral into a single integral of ρ1 being alpha on r, and our differential volume element is the surface area of the spherical shell by the infinitesimal thickness of the shell, being dr. And we integrate from r equals 0 to r equals a, being the radius of the inner sphere. So taking the constants outside the integral, we get 4 pi alpha by the integral of r squared on r with respect to r from r equals 0 to a. So that gives 4 pi alpha a squared on 2, which is 2 pi alpha a squared. So let's copy the result for part A and keep it here. Now in part B, if the electric field outside the sphere is 0 everywhere for r greater than b, what is the uniform charge density ρ2 of the outer portion of the sphere? Well, what we can do is take a Gaussian surface outside the sphere. So this Gaussian surface will take as having a radius r, and given the electric field outside the sphere is 0, using Gauss's law, the electric flux through the surface is 0. And on our right hand side, we have the total enclosed charge in that spherical surface. So that was Q in from part A, being 2 pi alpha a squared, and then plus ρ2 being the uniform charge density by the volume of the outer part of the sphere. So that will be 4/3 by pi by the outer radius cubed minus the inner radius cubed. And by Gauss's law, all of this is divided by the permittivity of free space. So now it's just a matter of solving for ρ2. So we multiply through by epsilon naught, and then subtract this term from both sides. So we get minus 2 pi alpha by a squared, and then multiply through by 3, and divide through by 4 pi, and also divide through by b cubed minus a cubed. And now we'll write our final result up here. So ρ2 is minus 6 on 4, or minus 3 on 2, and the pi's cancel, and we get alpha a squared in the numerator, and in the denominator we have b cubed minus a cubed. So that's our result for part B. And now we'll get rid of this, as we don't need it anymore, and move on to part C. Calculate the magnitude of the radial component of the electric field at any point inside the inner region of the sphere if r is less than a. So using our Gaussian surface and Gauss's law, we have the electric flux through that surface being E by 4 pi r squared, and that's equal to the total enclosed charge in that Gaussian surface, where we can use our result from part A, except we integrate from r equals 0 to r is the radius of the Gaussian surface. So this A becomes r. So what we get is 2 pi alpha by r squared on the permittivity of free space. So the component of the electric field is alpha on 2 epsilon naught. So that's the radial component of the electric field. And now let's get rid of this. And in part D, we'll calculate the magnitude of the radial component of the electric field at any point in the outer region of the sphere, being between r equals a and r equals b. So using Gauss's law again, and taking our Gaussian surface inside the outer region of the sphere, where this Gaussian surface has a radius r, then the electric flux through this surface is the electric field by 4 pi r squared, and that's equal to the total enclosed charge which is the charge enclosed in the inner sphere, being 2 pi alpha by a squared, and plus the charge enclosed in the outer part of the sphere. So that will be the charge density being minus 3 on 2 alpha a squared on b cubed minus a cubed multiplied by the volume of the outer charged region inside that Gaussian surface, which is 4/3 pi by the outer radius cubed minus the inner radius cubed. So note we didn't have to integrate this because the volume charge density is constant, and we can multiply it by the volume directly. And all this is divided by the permittivity of free space. So simplifying this, we get the electric flux on the left hand side, and if we simplify this term on the right hand side, the 3's cancel, and 4 on 2 is 2. So we can factor out 2 pi alpha by a squared on epsilon naught, and we have 1 minus r cubed minus a cubed on b cubed minus a cubed. And then dividing through by r squared and 4 pi, we get a 2 in the denominator. And that's our electric field in the radial direction. So this electric field is for r is less than a, and this electric field is where the radius is between a and b. And now let's get rid of this, and let's do a simple check. So if we check the electric field when r is equal to b, then we see this second term becomes 1, and the electric field is 0 as expected.